one? I don't know.
Get that video up. I'm gonna go get some alcohol.
I don't know if I have the video pulled up, but in the House in Florida, they voted to take away the special governing privileges and tax privileges from Disney, and the activists were like, "No,
give the corporations power.
Give the corporations 20% off their taxes."
The Colorado governor wanted to bring Disney to Colorado. He was like, "Hey, we'll set you guys up." And basically, what I'm thinking is, yeah, right. Like if Disney goes to Colorado, spends billions of dollars building Disney World Plus or whatever they want to call it. And then a new governor gets in and is like, we're shutting down Disney's special privilege. And like, what does this guy think is going to happen anyway? He wants to bring him out there and give him access to build nuclear power plants again. I'm not seeing it.
So this is the video we have here from Twitter. It's about in the House, the Florida House was voting to strip Disney of their special privileges, which would be like their special governance abilities, their ability to police or build nuclear power plants, and special tax privileges. And we ended up with this protest. Let me make sure we have the audio appropriately configured. All right, you can't really hear them, but they're apparently chanting, "This is good trouble. This is necessary trouble." This is from a reporter from the Orlando Sentinel. So you actually have the left. They are in the chambers protesting that one of the largest corporations in the world is losing a tax cut.
Good. They're allowed to do it, and I support their right to do it. I don't agree with the message, though. I think that they're cultists for the corporation, and they probably have Mickey Mouse plushed animals on their couch and stuff.
We all recognize their right to protest. We are pointing out the psychosis that is occurring when the left is like, corporations should have tax cuts.
People are obsessed with Disney, dude. Some people are.
It's a mutually... Oh, sorry, Ian.
No, they're truly... It's like a cult of Disney. They have stuffed animals of Ariel the mermaid and stuff. Like, what the heck?
I would say it's not exactly that. It's almost this mutually parasitic relationship. The left sees Disney as a vehicle for promoting their ideas, and Disney believes that they can extract some profit from left-wing audience members if they promote those ideals. And as soon as either doesn't need the other or they rise to power and get what they want, they're going to throw each other under the bus.
Yeah, it's tough to tell what these specific people, what their intentions were. I don't know if they were trying to support evil.
No,
or
they were saying it was
sad.
Racist.
What?
What
a shock.
So I guess this protest wasn't actually about Disney, though. So I think this one, there was a protest. I'm pretty sure there was a protest about the Disney thing. Apparently, this one was from the Black Caucus or something in Florida. I think this is not actually.
Did you just give me fake news? If you're going to be fake news, you have to go.
I think it was
today. Disney was protested.
I can send you the video on.
Let me see if I
Twitter,
can pull it.
They were chanting "Fight back, fight back" at the.
Yeah, but I think
Disney
that might have been something different, maybe.
No, let me grab.
Disney
grab
is
it for you.
way too powerful. They're way too.
Yeah, see if you can
I don't
find
even
the
know
video.
powers.
Yeah,
They're way
I'll
too
send it to
wealthy.
you.
Oh, they're way too powerful. I hear
I
you.
don't know if power is the right word because money isn't going to get
What
you what you need these
I
days.
saw on Twitter earlier was people saying that they were protesting the Disney thing, like the Disney vote was happening. But the Orlando Sentinel says they were protesting something that would remove black Democratic lawmakers or something like that.
So you guys think we should break up Disney, the monopoly? Is it a monopoly yet? It owns Marvel. It bought Maker Studios after I was building that thing.
Okay.
Well, so right, FloridaPolitics.com says House passes bill ending Disney Plus carve out, gavels out amid protests.
Okay, look at what I just sent you. Sorry.
Oh, I can't pull it up on this computer. Can you tell me how to find it?
On Twitter?
Yeah, what's the tweet?
I'll retweet it.
Listen to that. Dead space. Hot air.
Sorry, I'm so bad with interrupting.
Who owns Disney? That's what I'm looking up right now.
What's your...
At Lauren_Southern. This was all an elaborate plot to get people to follow my Twitter.
Underscore.
I can't believe you're still on Twitter and still verified.
Vote on these two bills.
I don't know how.
It is my hope that we will be able to proceed civilly and with decorum and with respect for one another. Read the next bill.
It's like the 1800s.
By Senator Bradley, Senate Bill 4C, a bill to be entitled an act relating to independent special districts.
No, I think they're protesting something about...
independent special districts is the territory that Disney
right,
is
but
on.
the people are yelling something about black people standing up and fighting back. I think what happened is
So
this.
it spilled into the second one?
Look at the headline here. House passes bill ending Disney Plus carve-out, gavels out amid protests. You see what they do? They make the story about that, and then they say it's amid protest, so you assume the protests are actually about Disney.
Keep playing that video, though. Let's see if they are still yelling about... Oh, I can't hear it.
Yeah, I think the sound was cut.
I mean, look, she's making good
Representative
points.
Fine, you're recognized to explain your bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I can't hear what they're saying.
They're
just
saying something
screeching
like,
into the
when
void.
black lawmakers are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. I wonder if there's a quote in here, because
Yeah. Okay, well, maybe you caught me on some fake news here. That's good.
Like, dude, if you're gonna do fake news, you have to do it in the newscaster voice, Lauren.
No.
true.
I don't
That's
blame.
the mistake I made.
I don't blame you for it, because this is exactly what I saw as well. They're like, all of these people were tweeting, they passed the bill cutting out Disney's taxes amid protests, and you can't really hear what the protests are saying. And when you look at news articles that frame it this way, can we pull this one up again? When they literally say they passed the bill ending the carve out amid protests, they're manipulating you into thinking the protests were about that.
I am not fake news. I am a victim of fake news.
Yeah, really. I've gone through that a lot, writing articles with Minds in the early days. Like, at what point do you have to pass the buck or take responsibility when you read a fake article and then you present it to the masses?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they said the protests began as Democrats' debate time expired on the bill to pass congressional maps drafted by DeSantis' office. Democrats called DeSantis' involvement a breach of the separation of powers and argued the maps would reduce the representation of black Floridians in Congress. In a statement after the House adjourned, Sproul's issued a statement accusing some members of violating House rules and hijacking the process. So, yeah, what they were protesting was that the congressional map is going to cut out 2 black lawmakers.
Okay.
So we got taken for a ride by these headlines, but we caught it.
I didn't believe a word of it at all. You guys.
No, I mean, like,
were
we
the ones
corrected
saying
it.
Stuff.
Well, that's good why this is conversational. When you just have newscaster voice reading it, you don't get the back and forth, the real-time correction.
Well, see, typically what happens with us is I didn't pull up that story because I couldn't hear what they were yelling. So when you brought it up, I was like, oh, yeah, like I heard that too. It's a good thing we pulled it up, though, because now these headlines, I mean, come on, man, look at this headline. That headline is going to be on Twitter. Someone's going to see it, and that's exactly what happened with that's exactly what happened to me. I saw that, and I was like, oh yeah, I heard that. Those people were protesting tax cuts, and then you pull it up, and you're like, they got me.
Yeah. Just reading past the headline is a superpower.
Where is Snopes when you need them? You know.
Fact check, false.
They could have
were
put like
protesting.
amid war, because we were talking about the war in Ukraine. We didn't mean anything about like what?
Right. That's something that you got to be really careful
True.
of too, because depending on what the headlines you use for stories are, so it's tough. Because I'll do YouTube videos that way when I'm trying to make a point about 2 things happening simultaneously or having some relationship. But you see how the media will do it. They'll say something like, Ian Crossland throws major fit as Seamus steals Lucky Charms, and
Which is true.
You think Seamus
did
stole
happen, yeah.
them, and that's why he's angry. And then you read it, and it's like Seamus was 20 miles away when it happened.
Eating the Lucky Charms on video.
Oh, the best one. It was, what was it? Newsweek? No, I'm not going to say I can't remember who it was, but they
Newsmax?
published that a woman who criticized Putin had died. She had disappeared, been kidnapped, and died. And then when you read the article, her boyfriend had murdered her. But the headline and the photo was a picture of Putin and this woman.
That's intentional.
Whoa! Shout out to Media Matters. That article, they published an article saying, podcast host says something about gay marriage or whatever.
Timcast, yeah, they said it was like Timcast IRL host attacks marriage equality and says it leads to grooming. And it was part of a conversation that we had where I stated my position, which is that there is no such thing as gay marriage. Marriage is between a man and a woman. But the person who tweeted it out was basically trying to make it sound like Tim had changed his position on gay marriage.
Right, let me show this. So Media Matters wrote, Timcast IRL panelists attack marriage equality suggested has led to normalizing grooming. They show, here's the thumbnail for the video. It's me. And then they actually say, I think they said in the tweet, you got to watch out for these grifters changing their positions. And in it, it's like,
I can't remember if it was the Media Matters tweet or it was the first iteration of it I saw. I need to double check.
I wasn't on that show that night either. That's really annoying.
So it's like me saying the issue for
Not
me is
you,
it's not
yeah.
gay marriage or a slippery slope fallacy. I think 2 consenting adults is not the issue. Obviously, there's a lot of traditional conservatives who have an issue with that. I disagree. The issue is with children who can't consent. That's always been the point. It's like I literally we had a discussion with Jason Whitlock, and I'm like, I'm okay with gay marriage. I think it's a good thing. But like, I don't like the slippery slope fallacy in this context, because I'm like, dude, if something is bad, it's bad. Then you don't say because of this might make something bad. No. Say no to bad things. You say okay to good things or to things that are in line with your values.
You debate them too.
Well,
That's what the
also-
show's all about.
Well, it's funny because after I made my point, which was absolutely correct and absolutely accurate, you said you disagreed with me. So they just as easily could have made the headline, Tim Pool supports our, lame left-wing position on this. But,
Fights with
fights. Yes.
Tim Pool defends
Seamus for being right.
marriage equality from
From
fascists.
bigoted conservative
debate
theocrat
rages,
or whatever
that's what
they
they've
call
gotta
me.
find.
I gotta say, I'm surprised that this, well, I shouldn't be, but I am surprised that this is like a headline. It kind of shows how not represented the average person is in media, because like what percentage of the planet are Christians, Muslim, that
What are they,
all
like
of those
80?
people
I
don't
don't
believe
know.
in gay marriage, the majority anyways. So like, should it be that surprising that a host on a TV show would have a disagreement on this issue? Is that really worthy of a Media Matters article? Or are you guys just admitting that there is like no representation of how many people on the planet, Tim?
2.38 billion are Christians.
Wow.
Yeah, now
that's
do Muslim.
Less than Muslim.
Yeah.
It's more.
Well, Lauren, I don't know if you know this, but the only reason that you could ever oppose the left-wing orthodoxy on matters of human sexuality is if you actually just like specifically hate people for being gay. That's it.
2 billion.
Yep.
So,
So,
if,
like-
if you take Islam and Christianity together, we're talking about 4.38 billion people.
Did you pull
So,
up that
so
there's
the
more?
majority, like
The majority of the earth.
of the earth, you can't have them represented. That is a shocking opinion to have.
No, look, Media Matters. I think they're allowed to have their opinions on whatever they want. The problem is that the headline of that article is just stupid.
Well, it says panelists.
It says panelists, and I think it was okay. No, so it was Alec Brusowitz and Seamus.
But no,
remember that show, yeah,
Alex
that was good.
agreed with you, if I'm not mistaken. He said that he believed in this fictional concept
I'm okay
known as
with
gay
yes,
marriage.
Brusowitz said, "I'm okay with gay marriage personally." Okay, whatever. But the stuff that's come after it, it's been messed up.
So I was the person who said the true things, and
So-
you guys got attacked.
Well, I
true
think
things.
Truth is an illusion.
right.
Truth
I'm
is
sorry.
subjective.
Is
We
that
had-
the truth, Ian?
I'm not sure.
We had Jason Whitlock on. He said he disagreed with gay marriage. We talked about it. I said I thought it was a good thing. There are many people that were formerly Democrats that when this issue was settled, they were like, I can vote Republican now because that was a big deal for me. Now, I think if you want to talk slippery slope, the issue is if it's bad, and you call it bad. I don't think it's a slippery slope to be like consenting adults can do what they want. Children can't consent. They never will be able to, and you're not going to change that no matter what.
Yeah, so and this is the thing, I would agree that it's a bad argument to say this thing which is like otherwise good could lead to this bad thing, so we shouldn't do it. I mean, my argument is that marriage is between a man and a woman, and because enshrining these unions which are not representative of that and erode the family, incorporating those into our definition of marriage legally is a bad thing to do. It will lead to other bad things.
And what were you going to say, Lauren?
Oh, I can't believe how left-wing your take is.
I know.
Marriage is obviously between a Christian man and a Christian woman.
Oh yeah, you're talking about Christian marriage. So there's legal marriage, which is just a legal union. You go down to the courthouse, you sign some papers, and then you have the joint bank account, and you don't get taxed when you give your wife $600,000. But
No,
then
marriage exists
there's Christian
pre-exists
religion, which
Christianity.
is it's like a
Marriage-
spiritual blend. Yeah.
Well, there's sacramental marriages. Yeah.
and you got to define what you're talking about when you're comfortable with who can do it, because like. Legally, everyone has the right to get married. I mean, I think for the most part, every adult in this country right at the moment has the.
There are some
ability to
states
marry.
where this is actually funny. 'Cause I think my brother was looking into this. What states in the country allow cousin marriage? What states allow gay marriage? And what states allow gay cousin marriage? And I think New York might be the only one. I don't know. Let me see if I can find it.
Wait, that allows all three? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's just two.
Have we really reached
Oh, yeah.
equality if people can't marry their dogs?
No.
No.
Oh wait.
First-
Yes.
Maybe?
Maybe.
Wait, hold on. In Arizona, first cousin marriage only if both parties are 65 or older?
Wait,
Or one
what?
is
Because they're not gonna, Because they're not going to have kids. They're afraid of inbreeding.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Arizona
that is
with
so
the
gross.
eugenics.
That's super cool.
So I think
Not eugenics, but that.
yeah. Look,
So true,
New York and California allow you to gay marry your cousin.
Wicked. I mean,
Why did they make fun of Alabama?
Like your first cousin?
Oh wait, hold on. So what? Let me see if I can pull this up.
Where's
So in the South, you can gay marry. Actually, no. Hold on. Let me see by state. Let's see.
Well, wait a minute.
Well, I suppose because the federal government, Supreme
Yeah.
Court has ruled. So all that you got to do is look. You can see South Carolina, Georgia, What do we have? Is that Alabama? Which state is that one? That's Mississippi, right?
Yeah. Mississippi's on the left.
I don't know these puzzle pieces.
Puzzle pieces. And Florida,
Oh, that's right, you're Canadian.
They do allow. Oh yeah, Alaska, Hawaii. Surprisingly, you can gay marry your cousin in a large portion of this country.
Wow.
But it's
At
most.
last.
There's interesting questions there about the challenge of the libertarian argument. So we were talking about the moral foundations the other day, and one of the moral foundations is like, would you allow two consenting adults in any circumstance, their own private, life? And the argument for gay marriage was always like two consenting adults in the privacy of their own home can do whatever they want. It's like, what if it's like a daughter and a father?
Yeah.
No, because of inbreeding, it's dangerous, at least from what we know about scientifically.
Well, I don't think the danger
Liberty
is
argument.
even for the child. The danger is for the kid that would be in the relationship with their father. Forget the whole eugenics stuff.
If she was
holy
18, I
shit.
guess. If she's a consenting adult.
Yeah. Well,
But I think there's I don't know the science on inbreeding, but I know that historically it can get pretty bad. I had a mouse that inbred with its child and had another mouse that had a breathing problem.
That is
and I
super
rest my
gross.
case.
source.
I don't know. Joffrey
So wait,
from
hold on.
Game
You
of
guys
Thrones.
you had mice that you had as pets that were basically
They just
know,
kept breeding
Uh,
and breeding, and they were breeding
gross.
with their kids.
My
and all that.
source, the British.
Yep.
Although I think humans came from inbreeding each other, eating a bunch of mushrooms and inbreeding. So maybe just the weak inbreds die off, and then the healthy ones create a new species.
So why do you believe that? I'm curious.
Oh, it's just
why
a
do you
thought
believe
of
it's-
maybe.
In
this is
Rhode
the Stone Age theory
Island,
of
you can
Terence
gay
McKenna.
marry your dad.
What?
In what?
Rhode Island, you can gay marry your dad or your son. Wait. Hold on. Okay, no, I guess you can't get married. It's weird. Some states, Rhode Island has repealed its criminal incest statute. Seems kind of weird to me.
This is very complex.
But there are real challenges to the libertarian argument because, as Ian was mentioning, there's risks. Like there's a reason why you don't do it. You had deformities and serious problems, and so that's why there's laws against it. But I genuinely think as we move towards this anyone can be anything and do whatever they want phase of reality, or like people are trying to create, you're going to see a lot more of this. I'm willing to bet that we're 10 or 20 years out from consenting adults can do whatever they want in any capacity.
It's weird how the pendulum swings. It's how that's like a weird part of reality. Like the kings of old, they would marry their daughter to their cousin to keep the bloodline, what they would call, I don't know if they would call it pure, but it was to keep like all the money in the family and all the power in the family, basically.
I believe the ancient Egyptians would do that with their royalty as well. I'm curious how common that was
Oh, yeah.
among royal families
King
in
Tut
different
apparently
cultures.
was really sickly as a result of
Oh
that.
yeah, siblings is also.
Yeah,
Uncle and niece is illegal. They say individual statutes vary widely. Rhode Island has repealed its criminal incest statute and only criminalizes incestuous marriage. Ohio targets only parental figures. So that means a brother and sister, I think, would be allowed. Two brothers could gay marry.
That's okay. That's really interesting. So you've got the
Disgusting.
laws around like, okay, you don't want to have incest because obviously that's going to cause problems with the kids. But then you look at people who have like serious diseases, genetic diseases that they
Right.
can pass down to their kids. Like, do they outlaw them breeding? Do
No,
you-
that's what the Nazis did.
So therein
No,
lies.
but like if that there's the problem. So if you're going to ban these people from it because of birth defects and problems, then why not ban people with diseases that they'll pass down?
and that's the argument the left will come out when they say you're a fascist for not allowing brothers to love each other.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
think
not-
more of wrong makes the other wrong better. You just don't. You want less wrong stuff.
Also, this is not an argument from like moral foundations or anything, but one objection that comes up in my mind immediately is that who was related to whom. You know who the siblings are. You don't go around doing genetic tests of everyone to know if a person has a disease.
No, in Iceland they do.
Oh,
Yeah, they have.
interesting.
They have an app where they have to. Have you heard this? In Iceland, they have an app to check to make sure you're not cousins. Because it's like an isolated population.
Oh.
Yeah.
I saw a Reddit post the other day where someone was like very visually disabled, like, arm issues, face issues, like, so you could see it like right away. And she put a little TikTok up that was like, oh, people told me I shouldn't have kids, but I did. And she's holding her baby, and the baby is clearly very deformed too. And all of the people on Reddit were like, you shouldn't have, which was very interesting. So like,
Yeah, this conversation's been happening since
Lauren
the beginning.
brings up a really, really great point, but that will bring us to a strange position. What is the argument for the laws banning parental or lineal or direct family relationships? And it is typically because of the likelihood of the increase or the creation of deformities. But then you argue, do people who already have those deformities have a right to have kids? And they do.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I think
there's a good argument to be made. Nature did not intend for people to reproduce or procreate with their siblings. I don't think there's an argument to be made that like nature didn't intend people with disabilities to procreate.
Wait, say that again?
There's a good argument to be made. Look, nature did not intend people who are directly related to procreate. I don't think that there's an argument to be made that like nature does not intend people with disabilities to procreate.
Because most people with disabilities today wouldn't even survive in a natural state without our extreme scientific like inventions that keep them breathing and going into hospitals every day. So like nature literally intended for them to die out.
So I would argue that a person should not get married and start a family unless they are in a position to take care of that family for themselves. But if they are able to do that, it doesn't matter if they have a disability or not. It's their choice.
I think tribal history was very incestuous. When there was only like 12 people, they would have to. There's no other choice. And that's kind of where it all began.
We've really gone down the rabbit hole.
Let's climb back out.
So speaking of, look what Disney's done to us.
Yeah. Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. But if you want to check out the full show live, tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And if you want more special access content, head over to timcast.com and become a member. Your membership helps sustain this company, keep our journalists employed, makes this show happen, and you will get access to exclusive members-only segments of the Timcast IRL podcast, and there's a massive library to check out. So again, go to timcast.com or tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., and we'll see you all there.